Alrighty, friends, thanks so much for joining us here at 13 News at noon. I'm Felicia Lawrence. Meteorologist Sean Ash is here. It is another gloomy day, another hot day, but today we could see some severe storms.
Yeah, we will definitely have severe storms. Some of these may actually produce tornadoes as well, Felicia, and the timing on this is going to be highly impactful for the metro area and really anywhere in central Indiana for some of your pickups from camps, your outdoor practices, things of that nature. Let's set the stage for what's happening right now. And locally, not a lot. It is extremely humid and temperatures in the 80s here. That is a tornado watch that's been issued just a little while ago across the border in Illinois. I fully expect this to get expanded and encompass a pretty decent chunk of our viewing area in the coming hours. So here are temperatures. This is the map that matters probably most to your comfort. And man, I'm telling you, that's about as bad as it gets in terms of the muggy meter for us. Dew points well into the 70s. There's all kinds of juice for this right here, this spinning area of thunderstorms, and the low-level wind field in advance of it is really beginning to crank. So what we expect is for that watch to get expanded east and northeast. These batches of thunderstorms reach the Illinois-Indiana border roughly between 2 and 3 p.m. The impacts for the metro area, I'm going to bracket between about 3:30 and 6 o'clock. This thing is going to be moving very quickly. There's going to be swaths of wind damage within it and also areas of rotation and some tornadoes. So we expect a combination of severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings. And I would say treat the severe thunderstorm warnings like tornado warnings, as the damage that was be caused here will be similar to tornadoes. So it's going to be a very active afternoon. We'll have more ahead. Stay with us for the forecast.
All right, Sean, thank you so much. And when severe storms are here in central Indiana, this is the perfect time for you to get connected with our extended weather coverage. It's our WTHR Plus. That is where you can monitor live Doppler 13 radar. You can check in with our weather team and find out specifically what's happening in your area. They will be with you until the storms pass. So just download the free app to watch on your TV. Now to some breaking news this afternoon. We are learning the Pacers are preparing to possibly play Game 6 without Tyrese Halliburton. Pacers coach Rick Carlisle says he is going to be a game-time decision in tomorrow's do-or-die game. This comes after Halliburton had an MRI on a strained right calf. All of this according to ESPN insiders. Hopefully he is able to get back on the court and help the Pacers force a Game 7. So hopefully we see him for Game 6. We will see. And, well, we're hoping for a Game 7 too. On to more news now. A man is in custody this afternoon connected to a double shooting on Indy's southwest side. It happened around 9:30 last night on Stanley Road near State Road 67 and Canby Road. That's when officers got to the scene and they found 2 people shot. They were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Police tell us the shooting started as a fight between neighbors over the sale of a vehicle. Then it escalated quickly and the suspect started shooting.
As you know, when you introduce firearms with alcohol and neighbors, how sometimes there are tensions in neighborhoods, that produces a very violent ending sometimes, as it did unfortunately tonight. Thankfully, the victims appear like they're going to be okay.
So right now we're working to see if the victims have been released from the hospital. We're also working to find out if charges are going to be filed against the suspect. Well, there are more and more calls for Mayor Joe Hogsett to step down. Several women have come forward alleging his former chief of staff and campaign manager Thomas Cook sexually harassed them. Now, a 4th counselor, Democrat Krista Carlino, joins the growing list of critics who say the Hogsett administration and Mayor Hogsett himself mishandled the allegations. Carlino, as well as 2 other Democrats and 1 Republican, says Hogsett needs to resign. She is also the first counselor to call for the resignation of Council President Vop Osili. Last night, members of the administration and finance committee voted to allocate thousands of dollars to help pay for legal fees related to the investigation into the allegations against Cook. Alex Almanza has the fallout from that discussion.
Well, councilors sent the $300,000 proposal to the full council for July's meeting, and that would help pay legal fees for the council's investigative committee. Now, an investigation found the mayor did follow the law, but many councilors say the scope was too narrow.
We still have a lot of questions in how this committee transpired and this investigation unraveled.
Before the vote, public commenters played audio of one accuser, Lauren Roberts, being removed from a council meeting last week, raising new concerns about silencing survivors. Advocates also shared data showing more than 400 harassment complaints against nationwide government since 2013 and pushed for urgent reforms. Then came the moment that shifted the room. Councilor Krista Carlino, who led the investigative committee, called for resignations.
Tonight in this setting, I am calling for the resignation of Mayor Joe Hogsett. And furthermore, I am calling for the resignation of our council president and vice president from their roles.
Carlino says the law firm's probe didn't reflect the law that she helped write, launching the investigation in the first place, and she believed she was sidelined.
I think it's concerning that maybe the investigation itself wasn't following the letter and the spirit of the law, which is unlawful.
Republican Councilor Brian Mowry says the mayor is a distraction and questions using taxpayer money on an incomplete investigation.
I think we need to hold off on paying any bill, because if I took my car to get it detailed and they only clean the windows, then I'm probably not going to pay for the full detail. I'm going to pay them for cleaning my windows.
The committee passed the measure in a 7-5 vote, but several councilors say they won't support final payment until they get more transparency. Proposal 164 now heads to the full council, and Carlino says she's gathering questions from the public and council members to submit to the law firm. That next vote is scheduled for the next council meeting, which is on July 7th. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
And we actually reached out to the mayor's office for comment. He released a statement saying, in part, "My focus and that of my administration for the remainder of my term will be on the promises we made to create economic and social vitality and growth for the people of Indianapolis. I have no intention of resigning." And in just a few hours, Indigo is hosting another public hearing to get your input on the agency's fare increase proposal. So the goal is to give the board of directors feedback on the increases that will affect your commute. If approved, you can expect to see increases in the cost for services like fixed routes and Indigo's paratransit starting next year. Today's meeting will be at Indigo's East Campus on 33rd Street starting at 4 p.m. And it might be a good idea to avoid parts of 465 this weekend, especially if you're going through the Clear Path site. Starting at 9 Friday night, NDOT will close the eastbound exit ramps on 465 at Allisonville Road and northbound I-69. Drivers also will not be able to go south on Benford Boulevard from 465. So the Keystone exit on 465 East will also be closed. 465 going east will be reduced down to one lane from the White River to I-69. And this weekend is also when NDOT will close I-65 south from the south split to 465. It starts at 9 Friday night through 6 Monday morning. This all was supposed to start last week but was postponed. NDOT urges drivers to have some patience and alternate routes through the closures. And there's a lot to understand with these lane and ramp closures. We actually have a visual walkthrough for you on this story at WTHR.com. Might be a good idea to go to the website there.